And that's so fun to me, which is also why I love fashion and cooking, because you can dress up and feel a completely different way. Like you feel, at least I feel different ways depending on what I have on. And that's kind of the energy that I tap into. And that's kind of the part of my reality person that gets enhanced for that video.
Yeah. And I love that. I love that. That's how you think about it.
Yeah.
Because, and by the way, that becomes really real in normal life too. I remember when I was saying earlier, like when I would go and see Radhi in the library or work, I remember I used to get dressed as if I was doing something important.
Yes.
And that helped me. And that was at a time when I made no content. I didn't have any videos. I was doing it for myself.
Yes.
No one even cared who I was. But dressing as if I was important helped me feel like I could apply for jobs, that I could show up as my best, that if I bumped into someone because I was in a really tough place. I was rejected from 4 companies after leaving the monastery. No one would give me a job. I was living in my parents' loft. I was getting rejected left, right, and center. I didn't even know if I'd ever get a job
Was that
again.
hard for you?
It was super hard because I'd become a monk because I loved it. I'd left because I didn't think it was right for me anymore. And now the jobs that I would have landed with ease 3 years before, because I had a first-class degree, I couldn't get them. And that was really hard for me because I just, I never imagined that I would not be able to get a job and pay my bills. And living with my parents again, I felt bad because I was, living off of them and they don't have lots to offer me. So it wasn't easy, but I remember dressing up for me felt like I can do something important today.
Mm-hmm.
And for some people, they don't want to do that. You'd rather be in your sweats, whatever. That's awesome. But all of these little things really work with our mind, like psychologically. And I think we underplay how much sight and scent and sound can change how you feel.
Yeah, I don't own sweatpants actually. Like Lucky does. Sometimes I'll
You own zero
I own 0 sweatpants. I used to own them, but then I got rid of them all.
You're my inspiration.
So to me, I don't wear sweatpants apart from maybe when I steal one of Lucky's, but that's like very rare. I think a lot of how I perform during the day is how I dress. So if I want to get stuff done, I will dress a certain way. There's like never a day where I wake up and don't do my skincare. There's never a day I don't wake up and do my hair at least. If I actually want to feel like my peak level of production, I do my makeup. Not because I feel like I need to feel prettier, but more so it makes me feel productive. I put on what I want to wear to feel a certain way. If I'm like, oh, I'm going on a little lunch with my friend and I want to feel like super girly and whatever, I will wear a cute dress. But if I'm like, okay, I actually need to just power through meetings all day long, I will wear a suit because that makes me feel like I'm just going to get stuff done. So to me, it's all about dressing and doing things to make myself feel a certain way.
Yeah.
So I'll never fly in sweats. I don't do that. There's like things I do to make myself feel a certain way. And I know it doesn't work for everyone, but growing up also, my dad had a weird thing with sweatpants. He was like, you're not. There's this thing about, I think Karl Lagerfeld said something about sweatpants. I don't remember exactly what it is, but my dad basically said,
Let me find it.
Yeah, you need to find it because he had a quote about sweatpants. What did he say?
So he said, Karl Lagerfeld said, sweatpants are a sign of defeat.
Yes.
You lost control of your life, so you bought some sweatpants.
Yes. That's what my dad would tell me growing up. He said,
no way.
Carl said that. And that's why we're not doing sweatpants. That's crazy. If I ever was in my pajamas, like after 9 a.m., he thought I was losing it. So when I was 16, I bought my first sweatpants. And then I really liked them, whatever. Because like I feel like in Europe, like they love their little tracksuits with like the Nikes. But then the older I got, I'm like, actually, my dad's right for me personally. Like, I feel like I've lost control of my life if I wear sweats. I cannot. What I'll do is like get a matching pajama set. If I really feel like I just need to veg out, I'll do a matching pajama set. But that's just what works for me. And I think that's also the thing with like fashion in my videos. Like I want to feel good. I want to feel confident. I want to dress up and feel like these different people. So that's where fashion plays like a massive part in how I go about my day.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. And it's so interesting how the way we're parented had such a like Radhi has that with waking up early.
Really?
So like Radhi was someone that even if she went out to a party at night, her mom would be like, if you're not up in the morning,
no, I'm telling you,
like you're late.
Yes.
So like Radhi wakes up so early every day because that's hardwired into who she is.
Yes.
And I think we all have different versions of that.
Yeah.
I was so excited after the pandemic to never wear sweatpants again. Because
Really?
I don't like sweats. But during the pandemic, I fell into it and I was...
You can find comfy denim.
Oh my
like, you
God.
don't have to do
Yeah.
skinny denim. Like, I feel like the more baggy ones are coming back anyway.
Yes,
so
for
just wear
sure.
that then.
For sure, yeah. I think what I'm hearing from you, what I've learned from you is that you found a way to do life on your time, in your way,
Yeah.
with your permission.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're all seeking. Like, I think that's what we're all looking for. What we all really want is to be able to get married when we want,
Yes.
to not get married if we don't want, to have kids when we want, to not have kids when we don't want. And I think when we feel like we're living according to everyone else's expectations and society's rules, that's what takes us away from who we really are. And it seems like you found a way to do things on your timeline and in the way you want, whether it's sweatpants or not. And there's there's beauty to that, because I think that's what we're all looking for.
I think it's also nowadays, I feel like everyone tries to fit in certain molds. Like, everyone wants to buy certain things, look a certain way, get a certain haircut, do certain makeup. And I think that was never really appealing to me. I love doing what I want to do. I want to encourage you to do what you want to do, regardless of what that may look. I just love empowering people to really find their truth and speak their truth and live authentically like themselves, which is so important to me. And I just love sharing my journey, and hopefully that inspires someone to do what they want to do. Not replicate what I'm doing, but do what you want to do and feel empowered in making decisions that may not be the norm or may not be what society wants you to do. And I think that's what's so beautiful about life. Like, you can do whatever you want to do because you get to live life and experience all these things and do exactly what you want to do. You don't have to do what I'm doing. You don't have to do what every other influencer is telling you to do, or your parents are telling you to do, or whatever. You can be yourself. And that's so beautiful.
I love that message.
Yeah.
Nara, it's been such a joy talking to you today. I've learned so much. I've learned so much about you.
Thank you.
I also have to figure out how you became so eloquent. Like, you're a brilliant speaker. Like, no, you are. I'm being honest. It's wonderful to see someone young with an old soul who is working on themselves, working on their marriage, trying to give their kids a beautiful, conscious life in whatever way you believe is important. And I'm a fan. I'm gonna keep supporting, and I love watching you and your family grow together. We end every episode of On Purpose with a final 5. These have to be answered in one word or one sentence.
Okay,
maximum. So Nara Smith, these are your final 5. The first question is, what is the best advice you've ever heard or received?
Don't try to be perfect. Just do it.
Good advice.
Mm-hmm.
Second question, what is the worst advice you've ever heard or received?
Try to get it perfect. Because nothing's ever perfect. And if you wait, I'm going off on a tangent.
You can.
If you wait for it to be perfect, you'll never get started. I would much rather you try your absolute best and put something out or do something and knowing you've tried your best, rather than constantly overthinking it, trying to get it perfect and never progressing in life because of it.
Question number 3, what's the least Nara Smith thing you do?
I don't style my hair every day.
Okay.
Unless I want to feel productive. So sometimes on days where I'm like, today is just like not my day, I'm like, okay, no hair done today.
I love that. I guess. I look forward to those days when I'm not on camera and I will literally be wearing a hat.
No, the hair is like the first thing I don't do when I don't have to do anything. But then like all the other stuff, I'm like, I actually have to get ready or else I don't feel productive. But the hair, sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'll just put it in a little ponytail. It's fine.
I love that. Question number 4. What role does faith, spirituality, that play in your life, and how important is it to you?
It's so important because it's my center, and I feel like it guides me and it keeps me grounded and it keeps me humble and compassionate, and it really makes me have a purpose and makes me wake up in the morning knowing I can be the best version of myself and I'm protected and I'm blessed and I get to live life so beautifully because I have faith.
5th and final question. We ask this to every guest who's ever been on the show. If you could create one law that everyone in the world had to follow, what would it be?
Being more compassionate and not doing things you wouldn't want people to do to you. Because I think sometimes we don't think about that and people just go off and do the most insane, bizarre things. And I just want to create a law. Whatever you do not want done to you, don't do to other people.
That's great.
Yeah.
We need that.
Yes.
We absolutely need that. Nara
Yeah.
Smith, thank you so much.
Thank you so
for your
much.
openness, your vulnerability, your time and energy. What people don't know is while Nara was driving here today, she actually had a flat tire in a rental car to get here because she's in LA at my home at the studio. And she went through that to get here, and she turned up just the sweetest, kindest energy. And I always feel like when someone's going through something, you know, I was thinking about it. I was thinking, oh my God, that'd be so stressful. You're in a new town, you got kids, you know, got all this stuff going on. And she showed up just wonderful energy, just super